welcome to Ignition.
Yes, good to see you all again. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes.
Now, in this episode, we are going to be very EV orientated, are we
I
not?
think it's an EV special.
It's an EV special. Now, don't turn off, because EVs are the future. And we thought that if we had a skim through the week and a little bit over the week, isn't it?
Yeah, we got
skim through and have a look at EVs. So we'll see what's coming. We're going to chat about people who have bought one, got one, running one, and see what the pros and cons are of us all getting ourselves an electric vehicle, because we haven't got one.
We haven't got one. We want one though.
You know,
We
I'm
want
desperate
one.
for one. I'd even toy with a hybrid.
I don't know. Fully electric, I think, is the one.
But we're going to start with drive. If you've not watched us before, we take turns. I recommend one. Old chummy over here, he recommends one.
Yep.
And this one is mine.
Yeah, usually mine are a little bit more exciting. Yeah.
But we've got James.
We have.
James Aloysius May.
There he is.
And he and the other two, Clarkson and Hammond, are on Drive Tribe, which we always enjoy. They've got a fair few features, but this one, they've got other presenters of Drive Tribe, and he's tried to convince James May to get rid of his BMW i3 that he has as a sort of daily drive around London, and get him into the new Mini Electric. So this episode of Drive Tribe is basically a review of the Mini Electric, but it shows what James has, or if you've not seen and don't know what James May drives, he's got a Tesla P100D, and he's got a Toyota Mirai, the hydrogen.
Yeah, so it'll be quite interesting.
So he's really, in fairness to him, he's testing out, and he hasn't done many reviews on them. There's one, if you flick the doofer along, and there are his two cars. So one of the episodes of Drive Tribe is him reviewing both of his cars. Now obviously the hydrogen one is quite difficult because there's not many places to fill them up, and the Tesla seems to be his daily driver to a certain degree.
Well, I was thinking, how do you fill up a hydrogen car? Where do you
go to a hydrogen fuel station?
Do they have those?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, I think.
I didn't even know the hydrogen thing existed, really. I thought that was still in process.
There's some weird, I think there's a few little places you can go to, sort of like a yard where people have got hydrogen for one reason or another. And I think there's 3 proper hydrogen pumps. You know they do LPG. We had LPG, didn't we? And they do an LPG, but hydrogen fills up exactly the same. So you've got your fuel connector, but it actually locks on, and it's very high pressure.
Yes.
Because obviously hydrogen's a gas and it's got to be under pressure to become a liquid.
True. Yes.
And so, in fairness to him, he's got a fair few cars.
Has he?
Yeah, he's
you only see these two on the channel, don't you?
No, he's got an Alpine as well, which you see. He's just got a new Alpine.
Okay.
He's got a few cars, but these two he's running as a test to see where the future lies, and obviously nobody knows.
No.
And he's had an i3 for quite a while, and I think he quite likes it.
Okay.
And but this episode is a sort of semi-jokey, trying to get him interested. He doesn't really review the Mini. Someone else does, but.
They have him in it to boost the views as such.
Exactly, yeah. But one of the things I don't normally criticise, but I'm sort of going to criticise, that he tries to tell you that driving the Tesla, you can't do long journeys in it.
Right.
And it's awkward and difficult. Now, I think if you drive the Mini, at this current moment in time, the Mini is a petrol diesel vehicle that they've electrified, and I think that's its problem.
Okay.
So its range is it's very, very competitively priced.
Its range is only 180 miles, 800.
It's low. Yeah, it's low. It's very competitively priced. I think it's around the 30 grand mark.
Right.
In the UK pricing. So it's very good. And you don't have to have these horrible yellow bits on them. That's to signify it. I mean, the grille looks hideous.
The bit I really don't like is that circular bit on it.
Well, to me, the grille looks like Katie Price has just had a great big lip injection.
Yeah, it does.
I don't like. It looks like it's sort of vomiting out the front.
A bit like a baboon's behind.
Yeah.
I can't say I love that.
No, it needs the normal mini grille. In fact, I think the mini grille's got uglier and uglier.
Yes. The traditional one, the slanted one, looked much better.
So I mean, we love minis, but that grille I don't like, and the yellow accentuations I'm not keen on. Good word, that wasn't it? Do you want me to explain it?
Yeah, long word for me and you.
Do you want me to explain it? You got it, did you?
Slightly.
Okay. Yeah, slightly.
Thanks, Dad.
Private education, never had. So, anyway, let me get to the point that miffed me off. So James is saying he drives this Tesla, and doing long distances is difficult when he's going from one house to another. Not everyone has that problem of going from one house to another. Not really being. I am being critical of him.
Yes.
So he's got a house, obviously in London, because he does some videos. If you've not watched Drive Tribe, he does them from his sort of underground garage, which is massive.
Yes.
And he obviously has got another house somewhere, and I'm going to assume, could be completely wrong, Cornwall. So maybe Cornwall, he drives from London to Cornwall.
Okay.
Maybe there isn't a Tesla supercharger on the way. But your review, the one you've chosen, is next. After that, I've got one from Harry's garage, and we'll discuss this more then. So, as far as the Mini EV goes, this probably isn't the finest review. It's not bad, but there's if you've not watched Drive Tribe, it's it can be very entertaining. Jeremy, James, and Richard are on it. James does a spot where people send him mail. Very funny, him opening it. He's quite brave because I'm sure he's opening it. No, we can send him.
Well, that's the thing. It does happen.
So it's very good. So watch Drive Tribe. Highly recommend it. And this review, if you like the Mini, this is on there. So give it a try.
Right. So next is my recommendation. Now that's a little bit more me, isn't it? Than the thing that picture is specifically a bit more me. But this is Petrol Ped. Now this is one of the first videos I've seen of Petrol Ped because it came up on the recommended. Now this is it certainly was an entertaining video. So he's at Electric Classic Cars in Wales. Now you've been to Wales a few times.
Been to Wales many times.
You've never been there.
Well, strange enough, I didn't know, but they're in Newtown, in Wales, and I have been there.
Have you?
And I've been to the industrial estate. In fact, as you can see, those cars parked in the background there. I'd clearly driven past there, but never knew they existed.
Right.
And as an aside, I've seen an earlier one. They did a Volkswagen Beetle EV conversion, and fully charged covered that.
The Volkswagen Beetle's got a little bit more power than this one, he was saying, but like he says, you don't need any more than 450 horsepower that thing's got. I mean, 450 horsepower instantly by the electric. So he's got the motors from a Tesla Model S on it, and the battery pack from a Model X, and he's managed to fit all of them in there, all of it. So it is a Model X platform with Model S motors, so it's a full Tesla battery pack, and it's 100 kilowatts as well, so that's a lot. That new that Mini's only got about 40 or 50, isn't it? I think that's half that.
Yeah.
So yeah, this thing's an absolute beast, and it was a South African fire truck. So it's had the bell. The only thing it's got is the bell. So instead of the horn, it goes, and it was quite funny. So anyway, they go out for a spin in it. They go out. They race. They have a little boy race with a Fiesta, mug him off.
I mean, because that's not a handling vehicle. I don't know. Has he done anything to the?
So the suspension's still original.
Oh,
because it was designed. His exact phrase was, "Suspension is good enough. All he's done is change the shocks. That's it."
With 450 horsepower.
Yeah, just the shocks.
Rear-wheel drive. Looking at it.
All he's done is the shocks. Now, he says, if someone comes to him and says, "I want that 450 horsepower," he says he shakes their hand and says, "Well done." But he also tries to talk them out of it because it's a death trap. So, can you imagine how fast that would spin out?
Well, look what he's doing there.
I know. So, 450 horsepower, instant torque, in something that's, in theory, quite light.
Well,
it's the batteries that weigh it down, but it's in theory quite light.
The only thing that I know about that is that your great-grandfather, would he be your great-grandfather? Mum's granddad. Yeah,
my great-grandfather.
Yeah, obviously dead. When I first started dating your mother, he had one of these crew cab Volkswagen things, and I'm convinced that it was 40 horsepower.
Well, yes, he said about 45 to 50 horsepower maximum, and can you imagine after all those years it'll have lost some?
And it was
so 10 times
an absolute dog. But the pickup bed in the back is remarkably small. Can you see the bit where the slats are in the back here?
That's where the engine.
That's where the engine, and it's big. So perfect EV choice.
Yes, no, true, because he was saying that he can keep the bed, and that's why the cover's on it, because he's restoring the bed.
All right.
To make it look sexy. But underneath, he said, is perfect. So there was plenty of space for all the batteries, and he can still keep the compartment where the engine was, so he can go surfing and chuck his wetsuits in it and everything. So they've still got that compartment.
Oh, cool.
So he's managed to go underneath all of that. So he's put it under the rear seats.
Because one of the things that we're interested in today in particular is not just EVs, it's converting...
Yes, because I think that's so much cooler than that Mini.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to think what it costs.
Oh,
but,
yeah, but that is so cool.
Last week we did Jonny Smith visiting the Mini, and we discussed that was ludicrously expensive. You can get an old-fashioned EV Mini converted. If you didn't watch it, go back and watch it, link underneath. We need all help we can get. And the Mini was the converted Mini was 3 times the price of a brand new
one, yeah.
But eventually, these people have got to, someone's got to support these people and if someone's got some cash, they should support these people, because we need kits to be developed that come out as a decent price.
At an affordable price,
yeah. Because not everyone wants to go and buy a new car.
No.
And if you've got a nice car...
that you like, and for us, we've got 2 cars that, in most people's minds, are very boring cars.
Yeah.
But we're in love with them.
Yeah.
We'd love to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a Jeep, and I want to keep my Jeep, I'm going to keep my Jeep forever.
Yeah.
And it's a diesel, and I'd love to turn it into an electric vehicle. Whether I've got the talent to do it myself is unlikely. But mind you, saying that, they do believe that they make them so you just rip the guts out of your car. Because I watched another one that was Jonny Smith, fully charged again, did it. He went to someone in America, and I think they were called, this is called Electric Classic Cars. I think they were called Electric Classic Conversions or something, very similar. But they were selling one for a Beetle, which you literally, it comes and you
put it in.
Yeah, plug and play, whatever that means.
Yes.
But they've designed it so an idiot like me could attempt to put it in. Probably wouldn't be successful.
Well, this one was interesting because he's put, because there's the steering wheel as you sit, it's like that.
Yeah.
That you just have a rod going through the floor. Now he's put a little bag for the power steering, so the steering's lighter. And he's also put in on the dashboard, he's integrated sort of a cutout for an iPad as such, but it's got all the modules. So he's got the speed on it, and he's got drive, neutral and reverse, and he just touches it on the dashboard. So he's completely eliminated that middle gear stick. So if you've got 6, so it can take 6 people, 3 in the front, 3 in the back, the middle person doesn't get smacked in the knee every time you change gear. Well, yeah, knee or nuts.
Yeah.
I thought it was very simple, and he's also put Porsche wheels and Porsche brakes on it.
It's a lovely looking thing. Absolutely lovely looking thing.
And the
Have you got any other pictures of it?
Yeah, I have. So there's the front. The colour, that's the original South African fire truck colour. Yeah. You wouldn't think that colour was on fire trucks, would you, in South Africa? But it is.
No.
And it's been restored to such a lovely level. I mean, it's brand new, isn't it?
Oh, it's a beautiful looking thing.
Yes.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, some would say that's not even the nicest looking Volkswagen, because it was the one with
without the
but I think that's lovely.
I think it's a stunner.
And it suits that guy. I don't even like green cars, but I think that looks awesome.
And the wheels are subtle. He didn't go insane. I think. No, it's been done perfectly, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's done a lovely job.
So if you want to see what you can do to an old car, converting it to an electric, check out Petrol Ped. He does quite a few, doesn't he? He's done a few in that place. But this is the 450 horsepower Volkswagen VW Crew Cab, so you should check that one out for sure if you're into the old cars.
I think that's cracking. That's on the list to watch.
Oh, little extra. They don't call it the Volkswagen, they call it the Volkswagen, which I thought was smart.
That's cracking.
Yeah, and they've kept it in the original font, so you wouldn't even know.
No, you wouldn't. Oh, that's so clever.
Volkswagen.
So clever.
Very smart, I thought. But yeah, fantastic video, definitely check that one out.
Mine.
Yeah, you're back onto you.
Back onto Harry. Absolute fantastic. So
that's a garage, isn't it?
Harry's garage. He's got a nice selection of his own vehicles. So Harry Metcraft, he does a series called Harry's Garage, and in that one, again, I've said this before, but he's got his own farm. He's got a farm building here which he's kitted out with all his own vehicles in. So you can see in the background here, he's got Lotus, a couple of Lotuses there, he's got a couple of Lamborghinis, he's got Ferrari, a couple of Jags, a lot of motorbikes, and he reviews his own vehicles, and then obviously because he used to own or run Evo magazine, he knows everyone in the car trade and gets cars. So he's been doing a little series on using a hybrid or using an electric vehicle. So he's had the Jaguar I-Pace, he's had a Range Rover hybrid, he's had a BMW hybrid, which he liked very much, and now he's got his hands on this Tesla. So
that's a particularly nice one.
It's a particularly nice one. He does seem to get particularly nice vehicles. But what he's also got is he's got his Maserati having an engine rebuild.
Okay.
And it's in somewhere near, it's in Cheshire, let's say, and he lives in Gloucestershire.
Right.
So he's been doing the trip up to see his engine being repaired, and he does the same trip but in different cars.
Right.
So he's compared the Range Rover to the BMW, and I think he went in the I-Pace. Memory's going slightly, and now he's going up there in the Tesla. I tell a lie, when he was in the I-Pace, he went into central London.
Right.
And he wanted to charge it up, and wherever he went to try and charge it, there was people queuing, or you'd have a petrol car parked in the spot he wanted to get, or whatever it was. But he was quite negative about electric vehicles,
right.
And he found the Jaguar was a fabulous vehicle, but he couldn't charge it. He could charge at home, and he said, so driving around, no problem. When he was using this M5 that he had, which was a plug-in electric hybrid,
right.
Most of the time he said, oh, I'm just using it on electric to run round, because you can do 40 miles, and his daily drive wasn't 40 miles, so he was fine. But because when he went somewhere, as soon as you hit the motorway, you're lugging around a load of batteries for no reason. But he loved that BMW. He thought it worked a treat. Now this one, he is gobsmacked by the performance.
Right. Because that's not even Model S, that's a Model 3.
A Model 3. He's absolutely gobsmacked.
Okay.
And off he goes, and he then gets to Cheshire and realises that he can more or less get home without having to charge.
Really?
You know, because it's so good.
Fairly good range, yeah.
And it's so... What Tesla have done, have managed to eke out... You get such a better range off the same... It's got the same battery capacity as the Jag, but seems to go miles further and quicker.
Dynamics, I'm not sure.
But then, well, apparently they've got some different type of motor. But anyway, I don't know what that is. I'm not technical. But what he does is he goes and tests at the Tesla supercharge network.
Oh, okay.
Now, going back to the James May review, he's got a Tesla, and he's saying, oh, it doesn't work as a long distance vehicle. Well, it worked for him.
Right.
The testing...
And he's shown that he's had bad experiences.
And he's shown he's had bad experiences. And it's a really, it's a fabulous review of the car. He's a fabulously interesting man. Okay. And he never pulls any punches. He does tend to say it as it is, and I don't think he's got anybody to please. No. So if he doesn't like something...
He'll say.
I mean, at the end of it... No, it won't ruin it for you. But if you want to see how a Tesla runs on a day-to-day basis, on a long journey, whether it would fit into your life, this is him using it in the real world. Okay. And that's a genuine, real-world example of whether a Tesla would work. Right. And if you go back and look at the Jaguar one, you can see the difference. It's nothing to do with the cars.
Okay.
It's Tesla's network of superchargers, which is why I personally can't believe anyone buys a car and doesn't buy that.
Yeah,
because you can, you know, if you want to go to Scotland in that, it's not a big deal, because as we've discussed before, if that takes 15 minutes to charge, you're never out of the toilet in 15 minutes.
No, you normally have a coffee.
No, you.
Oh, me?
I'm out within 15 minutes and I'm clean, you know, I go, do what I've got to do, wash my hands and I'm out. You, I'm assuming you're going, oh, on my phone. That's what I'm assuming goes on.
You know, that's... Always blame the phone, parents do, don't they? Always blame the phone. That's all it is. What happens if I just want to enjoy my time on the toilet and call one out? So,
well, yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know what the problem is with that.
No.
I mean, if you've got to wait for your car to charge, you may as well enjoy the toilet.
Yeah, well, you know, we'll leave you to your own issues.
Thanks. But no, not in public, preferably. But that's a particularly nice one.
It's
the fins.
We criticised the other day, the front. I still think it needs... The model... the Model X has got a tiny little slot in the top above the number plate, and I think that makes a huge difference. I think it just needs a little something on there just to finish it off. Little slightly aggressive grille, because that is a stunning vehicle.
It is.
That has got my name all over it.
That colour and wheel combo, I think.
Yeah, I'm loving that.
Cool.
A great review. Love Harry, as you know.
Nice one. Next, we got Jonny Smith. Now this is
a pretty little car.
So this is Car Pervert. That is a lovely car.
It is.
I mean, for me, if you're going to choose a little car, I'm choosing that one.
It's cool.
To me, that is the coolest car on the market at the moment. Look at that. It's so different to everything else. That's why I love it. So Jonny Smith from Car Pervert, he goes through this car with a little tooth comb, and he's going through every little bit. And he talks about...
Because he's a pervert.
He is a car pervert.
Yeah,
he talks about the interior, the exterior, he goes through every single piece. This is a 27-minute long video, this one. So it's a long one, but he's reviewing it in Spain, and it's funny, when he does it, the intro to the video is him in the storm, because they were having a storm. So he's driving this in the rain, in real world like test conditions. So he goes through all of it. It's got cameras, so he tests those, because obviously everything's a camera, it's so smart. Everything, the rear view mirror's a camera, the side mirror's a camera.
Oh, the Audi,
yeah,
they've put the cameras on, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
And the actual screens are down here.
They're in the doors, yeah.
Where this has got it.
If I flip to that picture, you can see.
Oh, yeah.
So here he is. He's got the big dual screen. So they've designed this. He was saying around sort of a game. You can integrate games because they've got a proper plug socket. And when he was charging it, one of the people who were testing the other cars were playing a Nintendo inside whilst it was charging. So they're saying, for the charge time, if you're just waiting for it to charge, play a game. So you can plug a game into your screen or something. rather than having to just sit in the car.
That's got some serious screens.
Oh, it's got some proper screens. So if you look, you've got the two screens there, which you can flip the interface just like in between. You can put movies on it. You can do all sorts. And you can see just by the steering wheel there, you can see that there's a camera. So like you were saying, the wing mirror camera, which is the white piece there.
Yes.
That, rather than the Audis, which are in the doors, he was explaining that works extremely well because it's at the same height as the mirror, which I think the Audi, they're really messed up. Why would you put it down there?
Well, you have to look down.
Everyone's used to looking there.
Yeah.
Why put it
and
down?
To be fair, one of the things that does work quite well in a car is the mirror.
Well, it's the most important thing.
In a glass.
Yeah.
It's worked quite well. But that's cool.
So he goes through this car very, very well. Oh, hang on, flip through a wrong picture. So
that's a nice look at that.
He was explaining.
Not sure about the shoes.
No, the shoes. I have to agree, they were quite bad. Sorry, Johnny. But he was describing what the differences were to when it was a concept because it was so hyped up. He was saying people that don't even like electric cars were interested in that one because it looked so different.
Yeah.
Have you seen the turning radius on that?
No.
No. Well, a Smart is 6.95 metres in round, which is tight. Yeah. That's 4.3.
Wow.
Yeah. And he was funny. He had it on full up, and he goes, "That looks broken." It did make me chuckle because as he was in a storm, as you can see, he's in the car park underground, and he was just going round and round this little pole. But it's a great video, quite long. But normally I don't watch these sort of videos, but it was a very good one, and even I watched it. So this is got about 137 miles. He was finding that it was quite efficient.
Yeah, because it's not it's sold as a city car.
It was called the Urban, wasn't it? But they ditched that name and called it the Honda E.
Yeah, because people laugh at us because we live in Portugal, and the Portuguese don't go far, do they? They tend to, and they think we're crazy.
Yeah, they think the next town along, they seem to think it's another country.
Yeah, and we go. Well, we just like driving, don't we?
Yeah.
But we tend to drive around a bit, and you say to someone, "Oh, we're going for a coffee 2 villages away," and they look at us as if we're insane.
They do, yeah.
And but we've realised that this has got 140-ish,
140 miles.
about 140 mile range. We drive around a lot. We don't do 140 miles in a day.
No.
So if you were living a normal life and you were just going to the shops, well,
going to work. Yeah, my mother.
Yeah. So his mum, she does the shopping.
Does the shops, goes to see her friends.
Yeah. Meets people, she socialises quite a bit, and she goes out in her car every day, and her mileage is next to nothing.
Oh, nothing, is it? No, she'd have enough to charge her once a week.
I mean, if we could have got that, absolutely wicked, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
wicked little car that.
Out of our price range, but
Very true.
so I think it's a 35 kilowatt hour.
It is. When you compare that to that VW we were just talking about with 100.
Yeah.
This has got 35, but it is half the car.
Yeah.
And it takes 8.5 seconds, just under 8.5 seconds.
That's quite quick, actually.
It's rapid for a little car like that. Normally they're in the 12s.
Yeah.
But no, it's a fantastic little car, and he goes through all of it very well. It's a great review, I think.
Yeah, the good review, and there's no reason I don't get why people are so nervous, because if you can just never have to visit a petrol station again, because you can just plug it in at home, and you think you could just plug that in on a 3-pin plug, because most of the time your car's sitting outside your house doing nothing for 14 hours.
Well, this one was quite interesting because you can charge at 100. Is it 100 kilowatts per something?
Oh yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. If you do it at 100, it charges in 30 minutes. And he was slightly confused because if you charge it at 50, which is half the rate, it does it in 31 minutes. So he even messaged Honda to say, why is that? And they didn't really explain. He was very confused by that. So 30 minutes will get you 80% charge, which is great, really.
But that's only if you're going a distance, isn't
Yeah,
it?
of course. And on the home charger, it only takes 4 hours. So you can't complain. Can you?
But I
4
mean, even
hours?
if you're just then plugging in on your normal house something, it's only going to take 8 hours, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wall charger.
Yeah.
But because we're going to do one of the ones we're going to release in the next few days is one about the process of buying, choosing, and selecting an electric vehicle. So keep your eyes open for that.
Yes.
We won't have a link to it because we haven't done it yet.
Yes. So anyway, if you're interested in this Honda E, which I certainly am, and you certainly are, I can tell that now. This is Car Pervert, and it's presented by Jonny Smith. Fantastic video, that one.
Yeah, good presenter. He does some very good,
thorough as well. I like it.
And so now we're moving on to just a quick flick through a few electric cars that if you've got some money to burn and you want a second vehicle or just a vehicle, people buy little sporty cars, and they want something and they've got a bit of loose cash around, or you just want something little to run around the second car.
Yes.
We've got a few suggestions for you. So this is the first one. This used to be or probably still is a petrol-driven vehicle, but this is the Van der Hall, and $34,000 buys you probably a whole lot of fun.
I was going to say that looks like a serious weapon.
It's a very oddball machine, 3-wheeler, as you can see. It's a motorbike in slightly safer form.
It is.
But again, road rocket. So it's called the Edison. It's by Van der Hall, and if that interests you, if you punch in Van der Hall into your Google search, you can look at their website and you'll get all sorts of fantastic information.
It's a very interesting looking car, that.
Yeah, I mean,
Never seen it.
Some people call these cheap EVs, but I wouldn't myself. I think that's a fair few bob. That's beautifully made.
35 isn't cheap in my opinion.
No,
but,
the seats are fantastic.
Yeah, the diamond's nice. That's a serious.
Aggressive, love that.
Yeah.
And then you get a little bit quirkier.
Oh, that's so cool.
So that's a sort of homage to the old BMW of
the bubble cut.
60s, 50s, 60s or something like that.
Yeah.
The Microlino. Yeah, soft top.
Cool.
I mean, that's awesome, isn't it?
Uber cool. Yeah, no, I like that. So what? That's 13.
And it's 4-wheeler.
Oh yeah.
It's 4-wheeler. There's two little wheels at the bottom. So that they reckon that's going to be about $14,000.
And what's that? What's the name of that?
That's the Microlino.
Microlino, that's a cool name as well.
Yeah, it's written there.
Oh, so it is. Yes, I haven't looked. Sorry. Microlino, good name.
But that is just super cool.
Just another cool little car there.
Is it
Italian? Looks like it is.
Well, you in your dim and distant past had a micro scooter.
I certainly did.
You know the little micro scooter?
Yeah, the ones that lean to turn.
The kids have.
Yeah,
the little tiny ones, and it's got 2 wheels at the front. That's them.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can see the little micro logo.
Yeah, just sort of slightly hidden.
Way.
That's them.
Oh, that's so cool.
And that will be an awesome. I mean, it's just beautiful.
If it's as strong as their scooters are, it'd be quite impressive.
And that's getting into my price range.
Yeah, 14,000 is acceptable in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's safe.
Yeah, I hope so. So would they class that as a scooter or would they class that as a car drag?
Well, normally they do 3 wheels, which this isn't, but they normally do 3 wheels to get round legislation that you
Right.
don't have to do.
But here in Portugal they have microcars. I suppose that might class as one of those.
It might do, yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure, but it's certainly a cool little thing.
But that's just, I think that's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I want that.
Oh,
And I
blimey, what
also
is that?
think that's super cool. That's the Nope.
Looks like an Alpha.
From
The front looks like an Alfa Romeo.
from years ago.
Yeah.
So that's a Nope. You wouldn't think that was from today, would you?
Certainly wouldn't.
Or the future.
It looks like a concept from 50 years ago.
Yeah. But again, that's got certain style. In again, everything's subjective, isn't it? Somebody would
Yes.
hate the look of that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought you would have.
No, I love that.
Do you?
Yeah, that's very.
I think it's
Looks
gorgeous. Classy.
Yeah.
I mean, how cool would you look rolling around in that? I mean, look at it.
It looks super cool. Oh, look, good visibility.
I mean, there was a program years ago called The Jetsons,
Right.
and it was a sort of take on what the future would look like, probably now. I can't remember how many years ago it was, and I'm sure they had something that looked from the back pretty similar to that, but it was hovering off the ground.
Right.
That looks old and super modern all at the same time to me.
Okay, so blimey, that's fairly rapid. That.
Yeah,
You can buy a hefty one, 72 kilowatts,
yeah.
and 1,050 newton meters of torque. I'll tell you that must go well.
That must go well, must it?
Yeah, range 260 kilometres, impressive.
So, I mean,
I'm
that's,
impressed with that.
I mean, other than, I'm looking at it, it's probably a two-seater, but if you just need a second vehicle or something to lark around in,
Yeah.
that is just so cool.
Or a bit of Optagent.
Yeah,
if you're
I mean,
really
I could
into-
park around and just sit and look at it.
Yeah, it's a stunner, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
So check their website out.
Mm.
This one's an odd one.
There's a Twizy, a rebadged Twizy, no?
Well, they've Seattle ripped it off.
I was going to say.
And
yeah.
it's a bit, I don't know why there isn't a little bit more aggro over it,
Mm.
because the chap who designed the Twizy left and joined Seat, and now they've brought that out. But it's not a,
That looks slightly more robust. Looks like the windows are sealed.
well, he's had a
For one.
second go at it, I suppose.
Ah, very valid point, yes.
Um,
The wheels look slightly, I wouldn't say it looks better. Would you? I think a Twizy had a little bit of character.
Yeah. We've been in one.
We have. That was a
Our
laugh,
neighbour, our lovely neighbour Tim.
Tim.
Shout out to Tim. He'll never see this.
but No.
Tim, fantastic chap. Our neighbour, when we lived in the UK,
Mm.
bought a Twizy,
Yes.
and we forced him to take us out, in
Yeah.
it, didn't we? We more or less forced him.
That thing had a good turning radius.
Yeah. He was Tim's brilliant.
God, he raced around in that little
He
thing,
used
didn't
to, you could, out the window, because we lived in a city in the UK, and it's hard to describe, but we sort of had a small townhouse.
Yeah,
We
you
were
can
all-
see the road.
And we could see the road, yeah, because it was a sort of topsy-turvy house,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Our lounge was above our bedrooms.
Yes.
And we'd look out the window and you'd see the Twizy go,
Yeah, the Twizy would be going.
and Tim would be
He'd
flying
be
around.
sitting in there going.
Yeah, and then he'd be sitting in his
Yeah.
Twizy and he used to fly around
He
in
was
it.
about 6'4", wasn't he?
Yeah, he was massive.
And it was so funny. He used to whiz around in that thing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's right,
He
he liked
absolutely loved
He
it.
did.
In fact, if you've ever seen Car Throttle's
Twizy challenge.
done a review on a Twizy,
Yeah.
he bought that Twizy.
The exact Twizy.
That exact Twizy.
Yeah, same
And
model
so
plate.
so we've actually been in that one.
We have.
And he went through a car wash in it, didn't he, on the Car Throttle?
Yes.
But yeah, it was actually, so Tim bought that one, and Tim was such a lovely guy.
Yeah.
Oh, well, is a lovely guy.
He's a lovely guy.
And he took us out, and he was very kind. We had
Very
a right.
kind.
We had a
That
right.
was our first electric.
He let me
experience.
drive it.
Yeah. I couldn't at the time. Shame. But
It was really quick.
it was. Yeah. It felt rapid. I suppose it was because we were almost outside, weren't you?
But it was. I can only say if you've never ever considered one, we lived in Portsmouth in
We
the
did.
UK,
Very busy.
and in the winter it was very busy. It was blooming cold, and the
Freezing.
wind,
Oh yeah, the wind
because
was.
we were right on the seafront, and the wind. And he used to.
He used to go around in that in all weather.
Yeah, he had a couple of little plastic windows he'd
Yeah.
made. So this one probably.
If that's
Hang
got
on,
glassed
that
in
one.
windows, which it looks like it has, that's onto a winner.
And I think for $10,000, if you could get that in the UK or here, if we could get that for $10,000 in Portugal,
We'd have
I
one.
don't know why they wouldn't sell like hotcakes.
Yeah. Because I don't know what the kilometres are like on that, but Tim's Twizy did about 50, didn't he?
50, yeah.
For someone like us, that was
We
pretty
just
cool.
want to nip the shops,
Yeah.
and it was just awesome, wasn't
That
it?
was a great laugh. But
Yeah.
that's very nice actually.
Yeah.
That's a slightly more usable.
Yeah, I like the front light.
Yes, I like it. Looks very cool.
Yeah, it does. Very nice. So that's that one. Next.
Yeah. So next, now this is my next recommendation. So this is Driving Electric. Now this channel, this is the first one I've seen of Driving Electric, but you say you've seen her before.
She, and maybe this is the same thing.
Parrot.
Yeah, she was on, don't hold me to this because of the memories, but
Yes.
she, I'm sure, was on What Car?
What car? Okay, she looks like she could be on What Car.
She's a very knowledgeable
very
journalist.
Yes. Yeah, no, I was surprised because I haven't seen many on this new Peugeot, but she's just done a review on this E208. Now, in I think most people's opinion, this is the best looking new car out.
Well, you can't
Because-
absolutely fault. And in that colour.
Oh, that colour's awesome, and the wheels are awesome, and the lights are even more awesome.
It's
But
an awesome.
anyway.
I think it's you're saying it's an awesome car.
Yeah, it's just even for someone who's young and cool like me. I'm surprised the old fella here still finds it cool, but I certainly do. And this is an E208, so it's got a range of 217 miles, which is very good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's really good, and she was very surprised at how sporty it was, and apparently drives similar to the diesel and petrol ones, obviously auto, but it hasn't got a full brake like this. The Honda E had brakeless driving, so you
Oh, a single
take it off
pedal.
and it goes.
I like that.
Yeah,
Well, I say I like that. I've never tried it.
This-
That was a stupid thing to say because I've
It
never
was.
ever driven it.
true. The 208 doesn't have pedalless brakeless driving, but it does have regenerative braking, but not as strong. So she was doing an in-depth review. I did this one as a bit shorter because the other two were long videos I recommended. This one was a 7-minute.
Right.
So this one's a more quick. If you're a bit like me and don't like watching super long videos, I thought this was a very good one because she races through all of the details of the car.
I should be like that because I haven't got much life left. So I need to watch as much as I can.
Yeah,
I'm
but-
not wasting my time on these 45 minutes.
But Dad, you're old.
Yeah.
And you love watching 45 minutes.
I do, yeah, you're right.
Sitting in his room like that.
Yeah.
Oh, he loves it. But this is a really good one, short video, and goes through all of it, does the driving, does the interior, goes through everything and explains the differences between this and the regular models.
Expensive?
Relatively expensive, but it's a good price range considering it's electric, similar to the Mini, about 27 grand I think it is. So, and they start from 300 a month.
See, that's not bad.
It's
300 a month is not
good.
bad.
No, she was saying that 300 a month I think is pretty
For
acceptable.
in fact, for 300 a month, what you'd save on, I mean, I'm assuming there's going to be a mileage something on that, but you could save some cash if you're just plugging that in.
But it was the day she was testing was a cold, rainy day in England, and she was getting about 140 miles, and it claims 217, so quite a lot less.
Oh, it is, yeah.
But she reckoned on a good day she could get it up to about 180 to 200. So it's
That's
not
not
bad. It's not bad.
Yeah, but it's again, it's a range anxiety, and I don't get it because I had someone a year or so ago, a couple of years ago. So I'd been in an electric car. I was
Yes.
having a chat with someone, and they would go, "Oh, it's no," and they did 20 miles a day, and they had range. Why would you have range anxiety when you do 20 miles a day?
Valid point.
I don't get
Yeah,
it.
most people don't do 217 miles in a day, so
No.
I can't see the
I
problem.
drove
myself,
for a
I
living.
agree. Yes. you
I
did.
drove for a living, and my big days when I would drive from Portsmouth to Wales and back, you're talking 300 miles. But I always used to stop and eat a sandwich,
True.
and I could have stopped and plugged it in
Plugged it
if
in.
I'd had it. But in general
true.
terms, I drove around all day long. 200 miles would have done me
Yes.
to do my job. I'm not saying I was a delivery driver or something, but it was, I was repping. But so therefore I was in customers for a bit of time. But in general terms, as a what's the old term for my job? I was a travelling salesman.
Yes.
A 200 to 300 miles in a day would be enough for me.
Yes.
But also, I used to have to stop and eat my lunch and read the paper.
Yeah.
Now
Toilet breaks.
toilet breaks, and I could have sat and ate my sandwich with my coffee and was being charged. So I could have now with the network that's around. Tesla is a no-brainer, but actually one of the Kias I think does nearly 300 miles.
It does.
Well, I could do that. That would have done. So I don't see why there's
I
this
agree.
big issue with cars. But that one, if that's 300 a month. Wow, it's no brainer. I mean,
Yeah.
would you have that or the Mini? It's a no-brainer for me.
The front of that is gorgeous, and to me it looks like a cobra snake.
It's
But
just
I don't-
lovely.
What do they base it off? What do most people say it looks like?
Isn't it supposed to be a tiger claw?
Oh, it could be. That's the one. Tiger.
Isn't it? Because their logo's a
They're
tiger.
tigers, aren't they?
Yeah, and the back is they've got the 3 claw lights.
So Peugeot at the moment for me are the top design.
Yeah.
Whoever they've employed to do their design has completely brought them off the scale.
And if my ex-colleague at work, as I've retired and he's still plodding selling, he had 4 Peugeots on the trot, 306s, and he had a 607, and I mean, it just used to make me laugh. You know, what was the thing? It was they moved the Skoda joke to it because why do they have a heated rear window? Because it keeps your hands warm when you're pushing it. I mean, they were just awful cars.
Yeah, they went through
awful
such a bad
cars.
period.
And now this, and all I ever used to do was take the mickey of him for driving the Peugeot.
Yeah.
Now, if he gets one of those,
you'll be wanting to go in it.
Oh, I certainly would. And he'd look good in that.
But yes, the Driving Electric channel, I haven't seen much of it, but this is a great review for a shorter, in-depth one. So I'm sure we'll have more of their videos on the channel.
Yeah.
But,
and I know who she is, but I've never seen that channel.
No, neither have I, and it's fantastic videos, so I'm sure we'll have more on.
Good
so
man, because you found one for me as well.
Yes. And there she is testing the interior.
I like a jumper as well.
Yes.
Has that got anything to do with anything?
I don't think it has.
I like a jumper.
But the main thing I like about Peugeot is that little steering wheel.
Yeah.
Just had to say that one.
I love that.
But no, great video. So short
and
one.
I tell you the other thing they do. What? Seats are superbly comfortable.
Yeah, they're very.
Peugeot have always done a good seat. There's no getting away from it. They've always done a good
Right.
seat. And that in particular, we sat in that car in that colour.
We went
because we tour the garages as well.
You know, you're driving past a Peugeot dealer and that's on the podium. You can't not go in.
Now in the UK we used to blag test drives and they were quite good, but in Portugal, you go into a car dealer, you're the only person in there.
Very true. And they swarm you.
And they swarm you and they won't let you drive.
Oh no.
In fact, you've almost got to buy the car here before they'll let you test drive it.
Yeah, it's a bit
odd.
Very
weird.
Very odd.
So you can't go blagging test drives, but you can go and put your bottom in them.
Yeah, you can go sit in them.
And we've sat in that car, extraordinarily comfortable.
Very sporty.
Drop dead gorgeous is how I describe it.
The design's flawless.
For the cost of the car, it's far too good looking.
Oh, it is.
It's a shame it's not 100,000 because it's as pretty as a Ferrari.
Well, if they put a Merc badge on it, they could sell it for
double.
50. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad.
Beautiful car.
Great looking car.
So go get yourself a Peugeot and come and let us have a go of it.
Yeah, just buzz us an email.
Yeah.
So now we're moving on to our fast one. So we've got.
Well, we try and be fast, but we're not good at it.
I can be fast.
Not in the toilet.
Alright, stop with the toilet jokes.
It's not a joke.
No, well, I mean, funny point.
Oh, I'm just getting in the toilet with my wet ones.
Yeah, see what I have to live with here.
Yeah.
So, this is your fast one.
Oh, this is quite an interesting one. So this is Redline Reviews. So this is an American channel.
Okay, I haven't seen Redline.
And this is not just about a Tesla as such. This is a very interesting review on the Tesla brand.
Right.
Sort of how they developed, what they think the future is. A lot of people didn't think Tesla would survive. Tesla are now the #1. They're pushing the motor industry down a completely different road. Awesome company. Obviously Elon Musk is sort of viewed as a bit of a nutter.
Yes.
To me, love him. Think he's slightly off the wall.
Well,
and that's brilliant.
Yeah.
And what he's done is nothing short of
sensational.
Yeah, bloody amazing, frankly. And this gives a good insight into Redline have run a Model 3 for I think nearly a year, and they're chopping it for a Model Y.
Right.
And
Model Y.
Yeah.
That's coming out, isn't it?
So it's coming out. In fact, it's out.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, people have got them.
Awesome.
Only this week, people have started. The reviews are just starting to come on.
Okay.
But this is an interesting one. It's an overview of Tesla. And Redline do interesting reviews. Actually, he's an interesting character.
They talk more about the history as well.
Yes.
Of Tesla.
Yes.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And
haven't seen much
how
about
Tesla started. It wasn't started
No,
by
I don't
Elon
know.
Musk.
Was it not?
No.
Joking.
No.
Oh, okay.
And won't ruin it for you because it's a really, really good. It's a good channel, and this is a particularly good review. And he's a really, really interesting guy.
Is
does
it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll be watching that one. I'm interested in Tesla.
Okay.
And next you got
Bob Flavin.
I get his name confused.
So Bob's Irish.
He is. Funny chap is Bob.
Very, very, very interesting character. Loves cars. I think he's a radio presenter over there. I think that's his main.
Is he?
I think so. Don't hold me to that.
Okay.
That's guesswork.
He'd be good at that. I can imagine him.
He's very good. He's Irish, which it means he's down for the crack. Yeah. And he's obviously wearing green, as he should be.
Yes.
Because he comes from the land of the Blags and the Little People. Oh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. But he is one of, as I say, we tend to recommend people that we enjoy watching. And if you've never watched Bob Flavin, he does some very, very interesting reviews. He's again honest,
Very honest, yes.
quite funny, and just does some very good shots with the drone.
Oh, has he got a drone?
Got a drone, and he's
Right.
in fact, I think I messaged him once to quit so much droning.
Really?
I was bored of watching the top of the car.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a lovely Skoda.
But now he's
I haven't
got
seen
it.
much of Skoda.
No, so that's their first plug-in. Well, it's not their first. Well, it is their
It is, I
first
think,
plug-in
yeah.
hybrid. I'm thinking of the Passat.
No.
But that is a great-looking car
Right.
in a lovely colour. And
Well, Skoda, I haven't heard anything of electric or anything to do with that.
they've got some very sexy things on the drawing board.
Have they? 'Cause I was going to say they're a little bit late to the party.
Well, that Volkswagen, the new I range that they've got coming out, I mean, they're all going to do it. There's a beautiful Seat.
Is that?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, it's coming out as a Cooper, I think.
Oh, it's going to be rapid then.
Yeah, and we're going to do a EV special, which will be out probably later on in the week, and we're going to cover all of them, what's coming out and what the future holds. But as far as model, what concepts are there which may make it into
There
reality.
are
So
some pretty interesting ones.
we're
aren't
putting that together at the moment, and there's a lot really.
There's almost too much to talk about.
Yeah, there is. So we're putting that on, but so electric is the topic of the moment,
is.
and because Geneva was cancelled, most companies had some electric vehicles there. So, but this is Skoda's, and the plug-in hybrid probably fills that little bit of a
It
gap
does.
at the moment. But
Yeah, and if you want to just dip your toes into it, it's a good car.
it is, and I'm in two minds whether.
It's pointless or not.
And I think it is.
I think it is a bit, because if you're going to go for something like that, you may as well just go the whole hog.
Unless if you've got a granny in Scotland,
And you have to go every week.
buy a Model 3.
Yeah, valid point. But
Buy a Model 3. I don't see the point, because no one can predict the future, but they've the UK and quite a lot of European countries are following. They're saying zero emissions by 2035,
yes, not
which
long.
isn't that long.
It's in 15 years.
And an electric car will last you 15 years. So in theory, 15 years' time, that is going to be crushed.
It's going to be worthless.
Worthless and crushed. So I'm not
And
sure I see the point.
The majority of people who will buy that will at least keep it 3 years. And in 3 years, the electric market is going to go.
And the price of those is going to go.
And the fuel price is going to go. Whee!
Yeah,
Isn't
except for the moment, because we're filming while the virus is on.
Yes.
And,
that damn virus.
Yeah.
It's annoying, isn't it?
And it's crazy.
It's
the world has
taken the world
gone,
by storm, isn't it? That virus.
gone crazy.
It has.
And the price of oil is, I think it's free at the moment.
Really.
It's trade. I mean, it
Incredible.
doesn't happen like that. But theoretically, I think they were saying that today or tomorrow it could go negative. So theoretically, if you buy 100 gallons
A
of
tanker
oil or
full,
whatever,
yeah.
a tanker full of oil, they'll pay you to take it.
Really.
Which isn't really the facts,
No,
but that's the if you look at the stock market, which I don't,
No.
but I watched it on YouTube,
Okay.
as that's all I do in my life.
Yes. Yeah, the coronavirus is ruining everyone, isn't it? As we speak.
Well, we're on shutdown here, aren't we?
We are.
We,
Complete
I think
shutdown.
From tomorrow we're going to be locked in our houses.
We are. We've managed to sneak our way out today.
For today, and
For
this is the last day. Potentially, we're in March, middle of March, and Portugal. We had the president on the TV last night.
We couldn't understand a word he was saying, but
No.
luckily my girlfriend's a translator for us.
Yes, so we understood a bit of it.
We
and,
did.
Luckily she translated for us. So theoretically we could be in the house. So we might do some really crummy
Yeah,
videos.
so the scene might change next week, but we're not entirely sure, are we?
Yeah, we could do it from the toilet because you're
Oh
always.
yeah, I'll be on the toilet. What a class go.
I thought
that would be funny.
Yeah.
Hang on, guys, stop the video in a minute.
No.
But I think Bob Flavin was the last one on the list.
But that's it then.
That's it for the week.
So, if you're watching this in near time, stay safe. Hope
Yes.
that you don't get the virus.
Stay
if
inside.
you do, which we all probably will eventually.
Eventually.
Let's hope we all make speedy recoveries.
And don't panic.
Don't panic. No point.
No point. Don't panic twice.
It's just a flu virus.
Yeah.
I say you can't put it lightly. Make sure your elderly relatives are kept well away.
Yep.
Look after them. Put food through the window, and we'll all get through it.
We will, fine.
So we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you
very
for
much.
watching.
I'm sorry, I'm not afraid.